Good morning and a very warm welcome to the launch of our Jubilee resource. My name is Hilary Woodhead, I'm NAPA's Executive Director. I'm delighted to note that we have had over 200 activity providers sign up to this event. Thank you for making the time in your busy schedules. We are grateful to our sponsors, Unilever Food Solutions, whose support has enabled us to provide this service free of charge, enabling every care home to have access to resources they need to plan a creative celebration. And now I'm going to hand you over to Natalie Ravenscroft, NAPA's Wellbeing Support Manager. Natalie is the lead for this project, and she will explain how the resources come about and help you to explore how to use it. Natalie, over to you.
Thank you, Helen. I'm going to just screen share. Here we are. So we are thrilled, absolutely thrilled to be providing this excellent free resource to activity providers and anyone that's supporting anyone within the care sector. So the resource was created based on a consultation with activity providers back in February. We invited you to have your say and tell us what you need in a resource. We could have created and put our ideas into the Platinum Jubilee resource, but we wanted to know what you needed. And some of the information we got back, some of the requests was absolutely fantastic. The response, as Hilary just mentioned, was overwhelming. We received some suggestions we never even thought about really, which made us smile, and then we had an abundance of this similar. So we're very proud to say that this resource is built for you, by you. The outcome of our consultation, and as I've just mentioned, the majority of the things that were asked by you were for recipe ideas, craft activities, reminiscence resources, party ideas. So what can you do building up to the event or on the event itself? And then templates. This was quite a large request, was templates and options for images and posters, which you'll see as we go further through today's presentation. Ta-da! Here it is. We are so delighted with this. The NAPA Platinum Jubilee 2022 activity resource. If you're wanting to download this, please do head over to our website. It is live now. Let's take a look what we've got inside. So the main resource itself is 33 pages, packed with information, links. So clickable links run throughout this resource pack. And where it says click here, you just click on that and it will take you through to audio recordings like the Queen's first radio recording. It will also take you to videos, so the Coronation. And then it's also got lots of images that you can use to conversate with the individuals you support, resources, activity resources, so much more. When I say this is jam-packed, it really is jam-packed. So again, as I mentioned, one of the biggest requests other than templates was ideas. Now, we're not all experts in subjects, although everyone might like to think us activity providers are, but the request was, can you tell us a bit more about the Queen, some facts, things that we can use when we're holding a reminiscence session, things we can leave lying around for people to pick up and read themselves. And we are delighted to say that there is a number of pages within this pack which can help with that. So here's an example. We've got Princess Elizabeth in her early years. Then we've also got Princess Elizabeth's marriage to the Duke of Edinburgh. One of my favourite stories, and it isn't a fairy tale, is actually true. Princess Elizabeth went up a tree in Africa on a tour. And then she stayed in this treehouse overnight, and she came back down sadly during her stay in the treehouse overnight, her father passed away. And of course, in them days, there wasn't telephones to a tree house or a mobile phone where anyone could tell her. But she came down the tree, technically a queen. Then there's the coronation. So we've got a full page dedicated to Queen Elizabeth's coronation. Also some information around the Commonwealth and tours. Again, not many people have a knowledge of the Commonwealth, or there's a great little quiz in there for you to play with the individuals you support. And then the Queen's love for her animals. We are huge animal lovers in this country, and there is some interesting exotic animals. Again, I'm smiling because it all will provoke conversations with the individuals that you support, and it enables you to have the tools to do that too. We also added a section in under hobbies and interests because everyone is fascinated about what the Queen does when she's not being the Queen, the head of the monarchy. Her time, what does she eat? And do we have any interesting facts, you know, that makes us go, oh, really? So we've got a brilliant section called Does the Queen Eat Cake? And it tells you, supposedly, I can't guarantee it's 100% true, but what the Queen does eat for breakfast, lunch and high tea, and also for her dinner. And then we have a section on her hobbies. I found this interesting when we was writing this section because, and I keep saying it does make me chuckle, the Queen collects stamps. And I find that interesting because obviously they're her face, her head and shoulders that are on there. But she's an avid stamp collector, and that's just one of the many hobbies that the Queen has. And then, of course, interesting facts. There's so many to list that going through the resource, they're not just in one section, and they're also spread over all the other pages. So celebration ideas. Did you believe what we're going to do? For some activity providers, as we know through all our support services, they may be new to the role at the moment. We've also had an influx of questions from individuals that started just pre-COVID, so they've not really had the option to plan a large community celebration event, and also for people that just, you know, are short on ideas, you know, maybe you just want a bit of inspiration. So we have put in here 2 fantastic pages over how to celebrate, party ideas, connecting with your community and leading up to the event as well. I think it's really important to emphasize that you can take this as a golden opportunity to plan into your activity program, making artwork, making souvenirs, planning at tombolas, you know, thinking about the speaker, the singers that you want at the event. So it's a golden opportunity to work towards that and also work with your local community. There is also a section which tells you how to plan with the individuals you support. So looking at starting up a committee, which I think is really important. Communication is key around things. In my younger years of being an activity provider, I quickly learned that it wasn't just me that needed to do everything, and it, you know, it was easy to share it with the teams, and of course, what multiple heads are better than one, as they say. So starting a committee is something that we've popped in here that you can think about and yeah, roll with. The other request was what's happening. It can be really overwhelming when there is a big event taking place, especially something like the Platinum Jubilee. Everyone wants to celebrate it. Everyone's jumping on that happy bus of let's do this, let's do that. I'm pretty sure that in your community, you're going to find lots of fetes, events, plays, performances, you name it. Everyone's going to be celebrating. So we wanted to give you a program of what's happening so you don't miss anything. It starts from the 2nd of June, goes right through to the 5th, and then we also have an area where you can find out projects that are taking part, like the Green Canopy campaign, planting the trees for the Queen's Jubilee, and we also have other competitions that are taking part. So we've popped all this into this section, and we hope you find that really useful. We know we know that, you know, I would certainly find that useful. But again, this is what you've asked for, and in the co-creation of this resource, of course, we were going to put it in for you. Towards the end of the resource, we have a timeline of Her Majesty's reign. It would be interesting if you use this as a conversation tool with the individuals you support, and see if it reinvokes any memories. You know, where was they when this happened? Where was it? I remember the fire at Windsor, and I can remember where I was. What about the individuals you support? Is there anything significant on this timeline that you can think about? And also, we have a picture gallery at the back. Again, this is a great conversation tool. We've popped some questions in there for you that you could potentially ask. But there's some images, and it's not just about where they was when these images were taken. You could discuss her fashion, you can discuss what's happening in the picture, maybe how she was feeling. So the list goes on, it's endless. Starters. Now, I would like to say that was the end of the news, but I was telling a little fib there. We have so much more to offer you. I am so proud and pleased to share this section now. We have the big bonus resource pack. Yep, that's right. We're not just giving you the free Jubilee resource. Inside that resource will be the big bonus resource pack, and it's a couple of pages in. You'll see it, it's at the bottom, and if you just click on these images, it'll take you to each pack. So let's have a look what's in here. I'm so excited. So, keeping you organized. Oh, as you know, an activity provider, we need to juggle so many balls. We have so much to do, and in the process of planning for this huge event, you're also going to be running your daily activities, wellbeing sessions, birthdays, etc. So in the consultation, there was a couple of individuals that said what would really be helpful if we had some sort of planner to help us, so I can write everything down, it's in one spot. You know, if something happens to me, everyone knows that all the information's in one place and we know what's happening. What a fantastic idea. So of course, we listened and we created. The Platinum Jubilee Planner is packed. It's got pages leading up to the event where you can write down what you might be doing. It's got an area where you can write down stall holders or entertainers. And it's also got one of my favourite things, which is a blank floor plan. So if you're having your event outside or inside, you're enabled yourself to design the space and where things are going. Again, this all helps with the handover and the communications with your care teams. So we also have a handover section where you can explain what's happening, what time, who's responsible for what. That is a great piece of equipment to communicate with. You know, you'll get people coming up to you on the day, where's this, where's that, you know, who's doing. Hand over your sheet, take it out your planner, print it off, hand it out. And I'm very confident that people will be pleasantly surprised and pleased that they have that information to hand. We also got our invitations, and again, something that we was easily able to provide for you is the Platinum Jubilee poster. All you do is print it off and fill it in, and similarly with the invite, so you just print it off and fill in your details. We have put here to invite special guests, but I also encourage you to send it out to the individuals you support. How nice would it be to receive a personal invitation, and it would feel super special for them to come and attend your fete, your garden party, your big lunch, I don't know, a reminiscence session. So please also think about them when you're inviting people along to your celebration. Next we have, I told you it's packed, next we have a Getting Creative Napper sketch and colouring pad. You might have seen these over on our website. If you do go over and have a look, we have them available in the shed, and we have images to inspire, painting, colouring and conversations. The sketchbook is designed with appropriate images that some are very simple and some are really detailed. You can print these off, you can paint them, colour them, try and redraw them because there is blank pages in the back too. But there's definitely images of corgis, let's put it that way. It's a lovely sketchbook. Again, this is free. And then we have the big bonus resource pack. This makes me super excited because this year we had quite a few requests for display boards, as we call them, support decorating. Now, you might call them activity boards, you might call them seasonal decor boards, but it's a space or an area where you might pin up information about what's happening in your service, or what season it is. And we have created an incredible 54 pages of templates for you to decorate these boards with. They consist of banners that can go around the outside. You just print them off, cut them out, whack them on the board. We've got large photographs that have the Platinum Jubilee written on, some fantastic images. I really do like them. And then we also have printable letters, which again spell out Platinum Jubilee, and it's all got London themed images on. And then as an extra, we've added in printed labels. If you're going to be having a tombola, if you're going to be selling cakes, if you're going to be selling hampers, these printable labels, price labels, are there for you again to print off, cut out and use as you see fit. What I will say about the printable banners too is you don't just have to print them off to put on your display board. All the conversation starters, you can also use them as placemats. So if you was having a Jubilee themed breakfast, then you could use them laminated as placemats. And again, that invokes a conversation over one of the most important meals of the day, which is breakfast. So to get your free copy, and I will say it again, it is free. There is no charge for this copy whatsoever. This resource has been kindly sponsored by Unilever Food Solutions, who are also celebrating their 100th Walls birthday. We are so proud to be working with them to enable you guys to have such a fantastic free resource, and that's everything, as I've just discussed, that is in this pack. So if you head on over, there is also in the free pack a kind activity kit, which has been provided by Unilever Food Solutions, and you just click on that image and it will take you through, and it's a special edition for their, as I mentioned, Walls' 100th birthday. And they have also supplied some recipes throughout the resource too, so thank you to them. So all this fantastic stuff that we're providing, as mentioned, we are a charity here at Napa, and if you are celebrating the Jubilee, then please do think about fundraising for Napa if possible, whether that's a cake stall, whether that's a little pots that you might have, and we're trying to help us raise £25,000 for our 25th year, and this fundraising will go towards the continuing support of the support service that we have here at Napa. And by the support service, I mean the support line, which is a free phone and confidential service for activity providers, family members, care teams, anyone that prioritises well-being, to come and ask questions, offload, chat, share funny stories. Again, that is a safe and confidential space. We also run the Napa Support and Share Network, which meets on the third Monday of every month at 2 p.m. You can book via our Eventbrite page, and it's a lovely little session. We have activity providers from all over the UK who work in different kind of environments. We share, we laugh. It's a confidential space again, and we stress that. And we share ideas and tips, and each month is themed. The next one is around nutrition and hydration. So if you would like to head over to the Eventbrite page, please do come along and join us. And it just enables us to keep doing the amazing things we're doing, like the activity providers group as well. So please do think about Napa if you have an opportunity to keep them services going for you. Phew. That was a lot of information to take in. I do feel like I need a cup of tea. But yes, we will be providing you, and it is over 150 pages of content when you take into account all them resources. and what you can do with them. As I mentioned, you just head over to the website page, you click on the main Jubilee resource, which is there, and then all the other information is inside. So, Hilary, did we have any questions? Because we did open up questions prior to this webinar. If anyone couldn't attend or make it, because we was sending a recording out, then they was able to put their questions forward. I'm just going to stop sharing.
Thanks, Natalie. What a fantastic overview of the resource and the process, I think, of creating the resource. And thank you to everybody from me for contributing to the consultation. It really does make such a difference when we can build resources absolutely around the needs of the people that we're there to support. So thank you for all of those that took part, and please keep sharing your ideas, sharing your feedback with us. It really, really does matter and is much appreciated. We do have some questions, absolutely we do. I think I've got some questions too, but I think the first one that I'd like to start with, if it's okay, is one around, it's from Jenny, and Jenny's saying, what do we need to do if we want to hold a street party? Where do we start? Any top tips?
Yeah, good question. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that will want to be holding a street party in the garden. Hopefully the weather's lovely. But in the actual resource itself, there is a section where you can click and it'll go straight through to the government website that gives you the correct guidelines and the process on planning a street party. I would also consultate with your manager and see what your organisation's policies and procedures are around that too. But what a lovely idea, you know. Of course, a street party, a garden party, just the word party in itself, Hilary, it sounds exciting.
It certainly does, and I think we're all ready for a party, aren't we? After the last couple of years, we absolutely are. And I think one of the things that that kind of excites people about a street party is getting together again, isn't it? And being together again after a long time, perhaps, of not being able to focus on parties. I suppose that leads me on actually to the next question about perhaps some anxiety that some care services may have, family members, relatives may have around parties and getting together. Any particular top tips around staying as COVID safe as possible, risk assessment, those sorts of things? Could you just say a little bit about that?
Yeah, through the support, yes, through the support line, we do get calls still asking these questions, and we do encourage you to keep ringing us and asking and using that support line service. It goes back to what your local authority guidance is, public health, speaking to your organisation. Everyone is different. One thing I would like to say is don't compare yourself to others. Because I hear quite a lot through the support line the frustration that so-and-so can have a Christmas tree up, so-and-so can have a singer in, but we can't. Go and speak to your managers and think about different ways to adapt. We've been very savvy about doing that throughout the pandemic. We're getting more familiar now with technology. We have an abundance of resources here at Napa to help you have to change things, you know, and that's a good point when, as an activity provider, we always, I feel like a magician, we always have plan B, C, D, E, F and G to help us back up, because for all the love in the world, and even at Napa we're the same, we'll plan something and maybe technology won't work, or, you know, maybe one of us is poorly, or there's always something that arises, but it's about being positive. And I think that's where it goes back to that planner. So that the planner that we've got in the big resource pack, having things written down, thinking about backup. Well, what if the singer's sick and can't make it? What if we've got to go back in to isolation? How are we going to carry on with the celebrations? So working with that planner, ringing the support service, support line if you need some tips. That's what I would say.
Oh, that's brilliant. And I think just to back up, I think there's also quite a lot of information in there about how do we include people virtually in our celebrations, isn't there? Live streaming our events, making sure that family are involved from afar if necessary, and that information is also available. That's right, isn't it, in the resource around using the tech? using the tech. But as Natalie said, give us a ring, drop us an email if you've got any particular challenges around making this work in a way that enables people to be involved from afar. We'd be more than happy to explore that with you in a bit more detail. I think you've probably answered some of the other questions around how do we get hold of the resource. So the resource is going to be everywhere, isn't it? We're going to make sure it's be on the website, it'll be in Napa News, it'll be out across our social media, but drop us an email if you can't get hold of it, just at communications@napa-activities.co.uk, and we will send it to you. You can download it and print it as many times as you like, completely free of charge. The sponsors, Unilever Food Solutions, are really keen to hear what you think about it, as are we. So please, please, please share your photographs with us, tag us on social media, send in, you know, what you're up to. Tell us what you're up to. We really would love to hear how all of this goes. And we want you to be able to use these resources in a way that enables you to be creative. So if there are any gaps in there, if there's anything you would have expected to see but isn't in there, please let us know and we'll do what we can to support you to provide the information that you need.
And just to say, Hillary, on top of that, please don't feel that you have to print off 150, 100, 600 pages, because you really don't. I just want to get that out there. We are very mindful as well that when this resource has been developed, that it tries to be as inclusive as possible. So if you see something and think, oh, do you know what, I just want them back 2 pages of the Gallery of the Queen, to print them back 2 pages off, you just click at the top and you put the page number in and you just print them 2 pages off. Or you can print the whole book off. It's absolutely your choice. I just wanted to make that clear. It does best work online as well, so that's why we've got so many clickable links in there for you to use too.
Yeah, entirely interactive. That's a very good point. Thank you, Natalie. So I'm very aware of the time, so I think we're almost time's up, but anything that you want to leave people with today, any particular top tip or a kind of a takeaway message?
There's a few things actually. One, I want you to just think about the individuals that might not want to take part in this Jubilee celebration. You might find that hard to believe. I certainly don't. I've met a lot of individuals throughout my career who, you know, we celebrate Easter or we celebrate the Diwali, or they don't want to join in with children. So don't assume that everyone wants to celebrate the Platinum Jubilee. Yes, you will have a majority who do, but think about the individuals that you don't. And for you to get that information, because I know that's probably going to be a question, Hillary, there, how would I know who doesn't want to celebrate it? In the resource pack, there's a section about starting a subcommittee, a little Jubilee group, where you can listen to the voice of the individuals you support and your care teams and start planning. And through that, you might find someone saying, actually, Sue, I don't want to join in. I'm not really into the royal family. So what am I doing all weekend while you're having all these celebrations? So just think about them individuals. And then the last thing I want to just say is thank you to every single person that has, as I said, we was very overwhelmed with the response from the consultation, that has fed back to us and told us what you want, because we could have created this, we could have put something out there, but the aim of the stuff that we provide for you, for your activity providers, is what you find useful, what you need, what you want, what makes your job easier. And because of that, I would be really interested if you could come back to us, tell us what you thought about the resource, what you used, what worked well, and also what didn't work well, what maybe we could change or what we was missing. That would be my greatest wish. And I think we feel a bit of a competition coming on with these activity boards as well, these display boards, sorry, as we call them. I'm really keen to see you using the templates. So of course, I want you to tag us, email us, shout about it, and share what you're doing.
Absolutely. We're going to be launching a range of competitions in the lead up to the Jubilee. So please keep an eye on Napa News and on our social media. Please join our Facebook groups if you're not already following and joining, and tell us what you think. We are really excited to hear your views. And we hope you've enjoyed this webinar this morning. The recording will be available, so if you had any internet issues, If you weren't able to see all of this, if you've had to nip off to another meeting, please watch it again. We will send this out with the resource to everybody who signed up, and it will also be available in the shed for people to access as well. But for now, Natalie, I think it's time to let everybody get on with their day. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.